All right, let's dive into a problem that I'm sure hits close to home for a lot of you, putting a ton of effort into an improvement strategy only to see it fall flat. In this explainer, we're going to figure out exactly why that happens and, more importantly, how to fix it by making sure you're solving the right problems from the get-go.
So have you ever been there? You launch this huge initiative. Maybe you even bring in consultants. You get the team all fired up and everybody works incredibly hard. But then, 6 months down the line, you're looking at the P&L statement and crickets. Nothing's changed. It's a gut-wrenching feeling, isn't it? It leaves everyone just scratching their heads, wondering why all that effort led nowhere.
And here's the tough pill to swallow. The problem? It usually isn't about how well the team executed the plan. The thing is, the failure was probably baked in right from the very start. It wasn't a failure of hard work, it was a failure of diagnosis. You were busy solving the wrong problem.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to break down exactly what's going on here. First, we'll get to the root cause of why these big efforts fail. And then I'll walk you through a really clear 3-step playbook to make sure your improvement efforts are actually aimed in the right direction.
Okay, so what's at the heart of this issue? Well, it's this trap of valuing motion over direction. You know, in business, we've got this instinct to just act, to move fast, to do something. But if we're sprinting in the wrong direction, all we're doing is getting lost, faster.
And this quote just nails it, right? Being busy is not the same thing as being effective. It's wild how many companies jump straight to the solutions. They start cutting costs, they buy new software, they reorganize departments, all without truly understanding the specific financial problem they're actually supposed to be solving.
Okay, check this out. This slide shows you exactly how this misdiagnosis plays out in the real world. Let's say leadership sees that net income is down. The immediate assumption is, our costs are too high. So what do? They decide to cut operating expenses, maybe freeze hiring, maybe even reduce headcount. The team on the ground makes some real sacrifices. But here's the reality. The actual problem was that raw material costs shot up 15%, and nobody thought to adjust the product pricing to match. You see, cutting operating expenses can never solve a cost of goods sold problem. So the impact of all that hard work, all those sacrifices, absolutely zero.
So why on earth do these diagnostic failures happen so often? Well, the huge driver behind this is a fundamental language barrier that exists right inside the organization. The folks making the big financial decisions and the people doing the actual work on the ground, well, they often can't communicate effectively. They're not speaking the same language. It's like you've got two completely different worlds. You go into the boardroom and the executives are all focused on things like EBITDA, gross margins, return on assets, but then you go down to the plant floor and that team is talking about cycle times, scrap rates, machine downtime. It's incredible. They're both describing the exact same business, but it sounds like they're speaking completely different languages.
And the fallout from this disconnect? It's huge. When leadership sends down a mandate to cut costs without any context to the team on the floor, it just feels like arbitrary punishment. Maintenance budgets get slashed, which, ironically, hurts the very machines you need to keep production running. And think about this. A supervisor might know that one single machine is causing 40% of all the downtime, but they don't have the language to translate that operational problem into the dollars and cents margin impact that leadership needs to hear to approve a fix.
All right, so we've spent a lot of time talking about the problem. Enough of that. Let's talk about the fix. And the fix is all about getting everyone in the organization aligned around the one thing that always tells the truth: the financial scoreboard.
So, where do we start? It all begins with a huge mindset shift. You have to stop looking at your profit and loss statement as just a report card on what already happened. It's not a history book. It's a diagnostic tool you can use right now. It's how you pinpoint the exact source of financial pain before you even think about launching an initiative.
So here's the playbook. It's pretty straightforward. Step 1, make the P&L accessible. You got to get it out of the finance department's locked drawer and into the hands of the operational leaders who are actually driving the costs every single day. Step 2, establish a common language. Now, you don't need your plant managers to become accountants, but they do need enough financial literacy to know the difference between an operating expense problem and a COGS problem. And finally, step 3, connect the financials directly to operations. Every leader should be able to look at a number on that P&L and trace it all the way back to a specific decision or action that happened on the floor.
You see, the path to real sustainable profitability isn't some big secret. It just requires the discipline to slow down for a second, use the tools you already have, and get your team aligned before you spring into action. It's all about shifting from a culture of guessing to a culture of diagnosing.
And ultimately, this is what it all boils down to: You can have the best, most dedicated team on the planet, the hardest working people in the world, but you simply cannot win the game if that team is focused on improving the wrong things. The goal isn't just to be busy, the goal is to be effective.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to really chew on for your own organization. Are you treating your P&L like a historical document, something you glance at once a month to see how you did? Or are you using it for what it's truly meant to be, a powerful daily management tool that guides every single important decision you make?
Thank you for watching the videos and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed the content, ring the bell and like and subscribe. If you want to learn more about operations management, check out the books at the links in the description below.